Hello everyone, it is Nicholas from Aussie MONEYMAN. So in a previous video, I covered a bunch of different ways teenagers can make money online. In this video, I want to cover 8 or so different ways you can make money offline. So these are legitimate ways that actually work, that can make a decent amount of money. Obviously, it depends on your age and how much money you're aiming to make. But basically, with that said, guys, please hit like, please subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can check out our channel trailer if you want to know more about what we do here. But otherwise, let's jump straight into the video. All right, guys, so the first one is a really simple one that all of you guys would expect, and that is to get a part-time job. So if you're over around 13 here in Australia, you can get a job. A lot of places will let you get a job, or you can work for your parents a little bit, stuff like that, a little bit earlier. But basically, if you go to something like McDonald's or KFC or a cafe, or you can become a sports coach, that's something I know I had a friend doing who was making like 4 times the salary hourly rate that I was, so that's really an option as well. But basically this one's really simple. Just go ahead, start putting your resume in different places and get a part-time job. I worked multiple part-time jobs when I was a teenager. Alright guys, so number 2 is to mow lawns. This is something I was doing actually before I was even a teenager, so I must have been like 9, 10, that sort of thing. I'd mow lawns and get like 20 bucks from it, which obviously for a young person is a pretty substantial amount of money, especially when all you want to buy is a video game, which usually costs around $70. You can get to that point pretty quickly, so this is a pretty good option. You can just go to neighbors, stuff like that, even your own parents sometimes, just offer it to different people, and usually people will be happy to pay you, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 depending on the particular situation, just to mow their lawns for them. Alright guys, so number 3 is something else I used to do a lot as well, which is wash cars. So I used to wash different family members' cars, and sometimes family members' friends as well, and they used to give me, you know, different amounts for that depending on the size of the car and what sort of wash they wanted. You could do internal as well and do all the chamoising and make it all shiny and such as well, and you can get some money that way. So that's another good way to make a little bit of money. Alright guys, so the next one is tutor. This one can be particularly good because it can be done on and offline. But basically, if you're an expert in some sort of subject, not even expert, but you know a fair bit about it, like I used to tutor in chemistry, I've got friends that tutor in math, I've got friends that tutor in different sciences like biology and stuff like that. Usually people seem to need the most help in the STEM area, so you like your sciences, mathematics, technology sort of subjects. So if that's something that you're pretty good at, even if it's just at a high school level, you can help younger high school students or other students that might just be struggling. Again, this is something I used to do. I started charging 30 bucks an hour, and I ended up charging anywhere from $60 to $70 an hour. Alright guys, so the next one is to house/pet/babysit. So some people just want you to watch their house while they're away. You can get paid for that. I've done that a fair bit. You can pet sit. I've done that quite a bit as well. There's a site called Mad Paws that I like to use, or used when I did that, and sometimes I'll still do that from time to time, especially if I'm in a different area. Basically, you can get free accommodation for it. You can take care of someone's dogs or chickens or cats or whatever it is. I quite literally got paid per chicken to take care of people's chickens at one point, which was quite interesting. I think that was for about a week or so. And then of course you can babysit as well if you have the skills to do that. I just want to mention, guys, with all of these, you can jump on all sorts of different sites, and I'll link examples down below. I'll have like each point and then relevant links underneath where applicable. But basically, you can jump on sites, you can just talk to people, you can go door knocking. Another good option as well is to go into like your local suburb Facebook page and post it in there as an option. People will contact you if they're interested. So there's a lot of ways these days, you know, with the age of the internet, to basically get in contact with people and offer them your services. And depending on where you live, you'll usually have a lot of people that want your service in one form or another. Alright guys, so the next one is to walk other people's pets/dogs, or even wash them/clean them. So there's a lot of people that will do stuff like that for a little bit of money. I think that's a really good way to make a little bit of cash as a young person, particularly if you like animals. Alright guys, so the next one is to collect cans, and the reason for that is certain cans and bottles as well have that 10-cent symbol on them, meaning you can get 10 cents for every one you collect. So I started doing this when I was younger. I started getting all my neighbors and all that to give me their cans and stuff like that, if they're willing to. And then I would go to workplaces as well, where I knew there was like a bunch of tradies and stuff like that, including my own workplace, that were filling up giant bins of cans and stuff, and just being like, oh, I'll take care of that for you. And if they were happy to let me do that, that was good. So that's a way to make a little bit of cash as well, particularly if you're younger, because the money can add up pretty quickly, and it's a substantial amount when you're quite young as well. Alright guys, so the next one is to just make anything and sell it. So I know people that used to make beef jerky, people that would make different art projects, people that would paint pictures of people, portraits, they'd paint portraits of their pets, all sorts of different things. So the options are really limitless here, but that's something you can do as well, and you can sell them on like the Facebook marketplace directly in a community. Be like, does anyone want a portrait done of themselves or their pet, or even their house, whatever it is. People are pretty interested in stuff like this, so if you can make something that's nice, there will be a market for it. Alright guys, so the next one is to sell things at school. I did this a fair bit myself as well. You just got to make sure you don't get in trouble for it, make sure it's within the rules, but basically you can sell anything. anything from food to really anything at school. I think the options are basically limitless, but that is something you can do as well because you've got a market right there in front of you. Obviously, there was always people out there that would, like, for example, sell cans. They'd buy a whole thing of cans for, like, I don't know, $15 and then, you know, sell them off for like $1 or $2, $3 each or whatever to make a profit. All right, guys, and the last one is to enter competition. So this can be on or offline, but this is something I did a huge amount of and made a lot of money from, and even one trip overseas to Hawaii and a bunch of other trips and stuff like that as well. One to Tasmania as well. So there's all sorts of things you can do. You can win cash as well. I never was lucky enough to win a few thousand, but I entered a lot of them. And there's all sorts of competitions like this. There's good sites for this, like one called OzBargain. You can head to the competition section. But there's also a lot out there, like academic ones and stuff like that. Like I did one for the Duke of Edinburgh. I entered a lot of, they had different competitions and stuff you could enter in as a young person. And then there was a bunch of others like essay writing, stuff like that. Well, it's really varied, but that's actually a real way you can make some cash. And so it also allows you to sort of demonstrate skills, and it builds a bit of experience doing different things as well. So I think that's a pretty good option. All right, guys, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a bonus one. So this is something my friend, I think he basically came up with the idea and started doing this quite a lot, and I helped him out with it at one point as well. And basically he just took out people's bins, and people would pay him for that, like on a weekly basis. So he'd go ahead and take out their bins and take them in as well, and he'd get paid for that. And on Christmas and stuff like that, he'd get bonuses. They'd just hand him like $50 and stuff. And again, as a young person, that was really good. So from my understanding, he was doing that from when he was like 12 up until when he was like 17 or something like that. So that's another option as well. And again, the options are really limitless. I just wanted to give you guys some ideas of legitimate ways you can make money as a young person, because I know, you know, I was trying to make money pretty intensely from when I was 13. So here are some legitimate ideas. If you have any other ideas as well, please do comment them down below, and you guys can help each other out. And I may make a part 2 in the future. With that said, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't seen part 1, so the online ideas, go check that out. I've definitely got a lot of expertise in that. Thanks so much for watching.